Mr. Twit is a twit. He was born a twit. And now at the age of 60, he is a bigger twit than ever. The hair on Mr. Twit's face does not grow smooth and matted as it does on most hairy-faced men. Instead, it grows out straight and spiky, like the bristles of a nail brush. And how often did Mr. Twit wash that spiky, nail-brushy face of his? The answer is never, not even on Sundays. He hasn't washed for years. Mr. Twit is a foul and smelly old man. He's also an extremely horrid old man, as you will soon find out. Mrs. Twit is no better than her husband. She does not, of course, have a hairy face. Although that is a pity, because that, at any rate, may have hidden some of her fearful ugliness. Take a look at her. Have you ever seen a woman with a face as ugly as that? I doubt it. But the funny thing about Mrs. Twit's face is that she wasn't born ugly. She was quite pretty when she was younger. The ugliness has grown upon her year by year. Why would this happen? I'll tell you why. If a person thinks ugly thoughts, it begins to show on the face. And if that person thinks ugly thoughts every day, every week, every year, then they get uglier and uglier until they're so ugly you can hardly bear to look at them. Nothing shone out of Mrs. Twit's face. She also liked to carry a walking stick. She told people it was for her sore foot, but really she only carried it so she could hit things with it, like dogs and cats and small children and me. This is the Twits' house and garden. Some house. It looks more like a prison, and not a window anywhere.
Who wants windows?
Mr. Twit had said as they were building it.
Who wants every Tom, Dick and Harry peeping in on ya?
It had never occurred to Mr. Twit that windows were meant mainly for looking out of, not for looking in. Mrs. Twit was the gardener. She was very good at growing spiky thistles and stinging nettles.
I always grow plenty of spiky thistles and stinging nettles. Keeps out the nasty, nosy little children.
To one side of the house, there is the big dead tree. It never has any leaves on it, because it's dead. And not far off from the tree, you can see the monkey cage. That's my cage. I belong to Mr. Twit. You see, in the old days, Mr. and Mrs. Twit had both worked in the circus as monkey trainers. They used to teach monkeys to do tricks and dress up in human clothes and smoke pipes and all the rest of that nonsense. Today, although they are retired, Mr. Twit still wants to train monkeys, but Mrs. Twit won't have them in her backyard, and so he settled for training me. It is his dream to one day own the world's first great upside-down circus. I hate having to do this upside-down nonsense day after day. It makes me giddy standing on my head for hours on end. But Mr. Twit doesn't care about that. Whenever I'm not doing whatever Mrs. Twit wants me to do around the house, I'm upside down in the garden practicing 6 hours a day, and if I don't do what I'm told, Mrs. Twit soon comes running with a beastly stick. The Twits are horrible and nasty people. They're even horrible to each other. One day, Mrs. Twit snuck out into the garden and dug up some worms. She chose big, long ones and put them in a tin and carried them back to the house under her apron.
Yeah. Lunch is served.
Hey, my spaghetti's moving.
It's a new kind. It's called squiggly spaghetti. It's delicious. Eat it up while it's nice and hot.
Not as good as the ordinary kind.
I find it very tasty.
I find it rather bitter. What a distinct bitter taste. Buy the other one next time.
Do you want to know why your spaghetti was so squishy?
Why?
And why it had that nasty bitter taste?
Why?
Because it was words!
To pay Mrs. Twit back for the worms in his spaghetti, Mr. Twit thought up a really nasty, clever trick. One night, when the old woman was asleep, he crept out of bed and took her walking stick down to his workshop. Every night, he added an extra tiny thickness of wood to the end of the stick. He did it very neatly, so the new parts looked like part of the old stick. Gradually, but oh so gradually, Mrs. Twit's walking stick was getting longer and longer.
That stick's too long for you.
Why, so it is. Now, I had a feeling there was something wrong, but I couldn't for the life of me work out what it was.
There's something wrong, all right.
What can have happened? They must have suddenly grown longer.
Now, don't be a fool. How can a walking stick possibly grow longer? Made of dead wood, isn't it? Dead wood can't grow. Dead wood can't grow.
Then what on earth has happened?
It's not the stick. It's you. It's you that's getting shorter. Why, just look at your stick, you old hag. Look how much you've shrunk by comparison. You've got the shrinks. That's what you've got. You've got the giant shrinks. There you are. Well, just look. You're sitting on your same old chair and you've shrunk so much, your feet aren't even touching the ground.
Mr. Twit, you see, had been just as clever with Mrs. Twit's chair as he had been with her stick. Every night, when he had added an extra length to the stick, he'd done the same to the four legs of Mrs. Twit's chair.
See? Just look at you sitting there in your same old chair, and you've shrunk so much your feet are dangling in the air. You've got the shrinks. You've got the badly. You've got the most terrible case of shrinks I've ever seen. I suppose you know what happens to somebody when they get the shrinks.
What? What happens?
Your head shrinks into your neck. Your neck shrinks into your body. Your body shrinks into your legs. Your legs shrink into your feet. And in the end, all that's left is a pair of shoes and a bundle of old clothes.
I can't bear it!
Oh, it's a terrible disease. Worst in the world.
How long? How long have I got before I end up as a pair of shoes and a bundle of clothes?
At the rate you're going, I'd say no more than 10 or 11 days.
But isn't there anything we can do?
There's only one cure for the shrinks.
Tell me. Tell me quickly.
We'll have to hurry.
I'd rather hurry. I'll do anything you say.
Oh, you won't last long if you don't.
What is it I must do?
You've got to be stretched.
What?
Stand here.
What does this involve?
Here. There you go.
Oh!
You feel them stretching you?
I can. Are you sure that my feet are tied properly to the ground? If those strings around my ankles break, it'd be goodbye for me. There's enough pull here to take me to the moon.
To the moon? Oh, what a ghastly thought. We wouldn't want anything like that to happen. Oh, dear me, no.
We most certainly would not. Quickly! Tie some more string around my ankles. I want to feel absolutely safe.
Very well, my angel. Snip! Yeah. Oh, what a sight. At last that old hag is gone forever.
For being so miserable. I long to escape. I also hate what they do to the birds. Every Tuesday and Wednesday. Every Tuesday afternoon, Mr. Twit paints hug-tight glue onto the big dead tree, and on Wednesday morning collects all the birds that are stuck there, and Mrs. Twit makes bird pie for supper. I always try to shoo them away, but they can't hear me. They're too far away. Oh no, here comes Mr. Twit. I forgot it was Tuesday. Twits upside down. I'm not joking. I'm going to turn those McAteer monsters upside down. I'm going to make them stand on their heads for hours on end, perhaps forever. Let them see how they like it for a change. I have a plan. It's risky, because if they catch me, they might decide to make monkey pie. But if I can succeed, I will be free. Birds, will you help me? Follow me, my friends. Follow me. We are now going into the big house.
and bad pie for supper.
What was that?
Some beastly bird has dropped his dirty droppings on my head.
On mine too. I felt it, I felt it.
Cut it! You get it over your hands. Come inside or wash it off in the sink.
The filthy, dirty brutes! I bet they did this on purpose. Just wait till I've loaded my gun.
Share that, darling.
What's this?
What's happened? That's the floor. The floor's up there, and this is the ceiling. We're standing on the ceiling.
We're upside down! We're upside down! We're standing on the ceiling looking down at the floor!
Help! Help! I'm beginning to feel giddy.
Oh, so am I, so am I! I don't like this one bit!
Oh, the blood's rushing to my head. Oh, if I don't get the right way up soon, I shall die. I know I will.
I've got a brilliant idea! We'll stand on our head! That way we'll be the right way up!
Right. We're stuck!
Well, this is all your fault! You're the one who ended up screaming,
Upside down, upside down.
Well, you're the one who said to stand on our heads so we're the right way up again. You whiskery-out warthog!
ah!
Now we're stuck here.
Forever?
You may be stuck here forever, but not me! I'm going to get away! You!
The sticky glue that holds you to the floor will hold you just as tightly as it once held the birds to the big dead tree.
Oh, no.
You will remain there forever, standing on your heads. But heads are not made to be stood upon. If you stand on your head for a very long time, something dreadful begins to happen. You get the shrink.
Ah! I'm shrieking! Ah! Help me! Save me! Call the doctor! I've got the dreaded shrink!
Mrs. Twit is getting the shrinks too, but this time they're not fake. They're the real thing. Their heads will shrink into their necks will shrink into their bodies will shrink into their legs, and their legs will shrink into their feet. And then, all that will remain is 2 bundles of old clothes, 2 pairs of shoes, and a walking stick. There will be nothing more left of Mr. and Mrs. Twit in the whole world. I'm free.